Hey guys, my name's Janice.
My name's Elenice.
And we are the Book Junkies. So today we're going to do a little book review and a book discussion on We Were Liars by E.Lockhart. And we would like to apologize for not filming. We've been busy. It's no excuse.
3 months.
More than 3 months plus. And, we thought we'd come back with better quality for one. And a video on a book that was a Booksplosion book of the month for Kay-tastic and her group of friends, such as Poland Banana Bears, I think it's Ariel Bassett, and Jessie the Reader. So we love watching their videos. So we were like, oh, let's give the book a try. So we read it, and it was good. So, Elenice, would you like to talk about the book?
Well, when you pick up this book, I really recommend it. And when you pick it up, please do not read the back.
Just throw it away.
It's great to look at anyways. So
throw it away.
Like the spine.
I mean, it has a beautiful spine. It's plain, but on the inside it's like very colorful.
Blue.
It reminds me of like the ocean and paparazzi.
Reminds me of sparkles.
Yes, very. So, you want to go into this book not knowing anything about it, because I kid you not.
It's better.
Any little thing that you read in the book could just spoil it for you. It's one of those books where like any detail just kind of ruins it. So, yeah.
Yes.
We just want to say that it's a good book, and to pick it up,
recommend it.
Yeah, I finished the book within like a day. So, I mean, I think if you're a good reader, even if you're a busy person, you could probably finish it within like a day or two max. There's like 200, I believe.
It's a very short book.
225 pages in the book. So I feel like you'll be fine. And yeah, so
what would you rate this book?
5
stars.
I give it about 4 stars, because the ending, the ending was pretty good, but it wasn't what I expected it to be. So
I give it a 4.5 stars because it was a good book. But I think I would recommend this to my friends. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd recommend the book. The writing was beautiful. The author had a way of writing with few words and was able to describe a lot. And I quote out that's kind of not the exact quote, but Jessie the Reader had mentioned that, and so did Poland Banana Bears. And I will have their accounts linked down below in the description bar in case you want to check them out. They're great. And yeah, so if you have not read the book, I recommend that you leave.
Because now is going to be the spoiler.
Just click the YouTube button or X out the window, because now it's a spoiler. And if you're on Facebook, just shut it down. Shut it down. Okay. So, are you gone yet? The door's over there. Yeah. Alright, so all these people who have read the book, welcome.
Thank you. Book discussion.
Yeah. So, first question that we're going to answer is, what did we like about the book? So,
you go first.
Yeah, there's a lot to say. Well, I liked the way that the characters were developed. I could actually kind of like picture them in my head. I had like a mental movie thing going on. And I liked the cover for one. And, I thought it was different. I've never read a book like it. Then again, I haven't read that many books. I started reading around in 8th grade when I read Twilight, and that's what got me into reading. And then in high school, I haven't read so much either because my teachers assigned like 2 books and stuff like that. So I've been busy with school and stuff. But now that I graduated, I've had time to read. So, I overall like the way that the characters were developed. What about you?
Me, I just like the whole point of the story. And I think it was a very good concept. Because it's unique. I never heard of a story that's like that. And I just think it's good.
Yeah, I think so too. The second question, any favorite characters?
I don't have a favorite character.
Yeah, in this book, I didn't develop any kind of feelings for a character. I mean, I have to say I developed hate for a character.
Yes.
Their family members, her family members, Candace, I just did not like them. They were just like, I don't know, I'm family oriented, so, I mean, I can kind of relate to the family drama in the book, and I'm not going to go into details about that, but it's just real sad about the book and how, like, you know, the family just fights over things, and, you know, they don't see the importance at the end of the day of, like, what's really important. So, I mean, you know, it just has some things that I guess people can relate to that are relatable, whether it's content or feeling or anything, you know. I didn't really have a favorite character, but I did like the dogs.
Yes.
I like the dogs.
I think that it's because the family were kind of conceited, like how the grandma died, then they were all trying to fight over her jewelry. Life doesn't involve around jewelry or money. This is what actually money does to you. And then they were actually like waiting around for the dad to die before they could get their inheritance.
Yeah,
which I thought was wrong.
The family they were a wealthy family, and, you know, they had like their own private island, and I'm sure you guys know about this because you read the book, obviously. But you know, it's just things like that. And, you know, people at the end of the day, they have to see that, you know, materialistic things aren't what's important. I mean, yeah, they can buy you happiness for a certain amount of time, but at the end of the day, it's the comfort of your family and, you know, being together and being loved. I think love is by far the greatest treasure anyone can have, and that's just my personal opinion. Like, if you agree. And the second question is, what did we dislike?
You go first. It's hard.
The ending, guys. The ending. That's really what I disliked.
Yeah.
It was like a slap in the face. I think this goes into the question of, like, feedback for the author, but the ending was the section truth. I didn't like how it was so straightforward. You know, like, the author, like, literally within, like, the first paragraph. Not that it was a problem, but I personally wouldn't have done it. It mentioned, like, the names and have died, or funeral, and I was just like, I was so in shock. Were you not in shock?
Yeah, I thought they were gonna...
I had to read it, like, 5 times, and I was like, is she bloody kidding me? And I was just like, this did not just happen. And the thing is, even if I didn't like the characters or develop feelings for them, I mean, the characters weren't bad, but I was in shock. I was like, what the heck is going on? I was like, no. Like, you know, I guess the author kind of did a trick on us. Like, she was like, okay, you know, let's not have them develop feelings, or which not, whatever. And then at the end of the day, you know, you get to the ending and you're crying. And you're like, oh my God, I have a heart, you know? And it's just things like that. Like, it's beautiful. Like, how she makes you think, okay, oh, I don't like the character. But then at the end of the day, you really do like the character. And I don't know, it's just, the ending was just, I only cried a little bit. But what really got me at heart was when the dogs got burned in the building.
I know. It was sad. But I liked how she put detail, like how they died. Like, when they were saying... Littles were saying how the house is haunted, or how she was always saying it's not fair that they didn't get to go to.
Right. Now, that leads into the question, like, what confused us. So, I like the fact that she said she put little hints in the book to kind of clarify. Like, at first, when she was in Europe with her father, and she was trying to email her cousins and Gat about, like, you know, about how things are going over there, and no one answered. You know, for some people they could have thought, okay, automatic conclusion, they died. But I didn't think that. I was like, because when she talked about her getting in the incident, I was like, I think Gat did something, or they must have harmed her because they don't want nothing to do with her. Did you not think that?
Yeah, I
thought that they hurt her.
Yeah, I thought they had accidentally did something to her, and they felt bad, and so they just stopped talking to her because they thought that she was going to find out.
Yeah, to be honest, the part where her parents found her on the beach in the cold water, half naked, I was like, she must have got raped. I know it's bad, but that's what I thought. I was like, this poor child left in the water to die. You know, I don't know. My thoughts are not impure, but, you know, that's what I thought. I thought she got hurt because they look pretty, you know, and them, they look guilty.
Really suspicious.
Yes. I mean, even though we can't physically see them, but in the book they look suspicious. And I mean, I don't know, it's just, I was kind of confused a little bit, like, whether they're ghosts or, you know, what's the word called?
Imagination.
Imagination or hallucination. There we go. That's the word. Bam. So, I mean, I was like, what's going on? It's only when you get to the ending that you're having thoughts about whether everything that she saw is even happening. And the one thing that kind of took me by surprise is when she's talking about, like, when I think it was Johnny or Mirren, they were talking to her and they were saying, or it was Gat as well. He was like, it's no fair, you know, why complain? You were a year up. And then she was like, but I wanted to be there at the island with you guys. And he's like, who do you think paid for it? And she's like, my dad. He's like, no, grandpa or something like that. And I was thinking, if he's dead, how the heck would he know that grandpa paid for it? And it's just things like that, like, you know, that really catch me off guard. How do they know? Like, I was thinking that they were ghosts, because even if it's a hallucination, how would she know that he paid for it? Or whether she was just telling herself something. It's really complicated.
Yeah, I think the story it kind of left you like a cliffhanger, because it like had let you choose its own path. Like, do you think it's a hallucination, or do you think they're really ghosts?
Right.
And you gotta find that out yourself.
The author kind of gave like a free will to choose. Yeah, like she gave you an ending, but she gave you like all these thoughts, and really she gave you endless possibilities of what she wanted. So I like that. Things that I found interesting was the plot twist, like, you know, that alone. I mean, I thought that her novel was just pure genius. For someone to come up with the idea, I'm going to have the ending be this, but I have to put hints here, 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 and here. I thought that must have took years to write. And if it didn't, God bless her, because that's genius right there. How someone can just put little hints every now and then in the book, and then at the ending have everything like connect the dots. I mean, it's pure genius. That's work of art. Have never read anything like that. Hands down.
Me either.
No, bad feedback. Things that we didn't like. The ending, yeah. I mean, not that the ending was bad. I just didn't like how she was so upfront about it. Like, she didn't do the whole show and tell concept. She just told, okay, they're dead, bam. You know, I think that it would have been a little easier to like get in there if she would have said, or like the girl asked her mom, like, Mirren's doing this and that, you know, even though the mom thought she was a little loony already. But I think that it could have had like a conversation, and the mom could have been like, you know, frustrated, be like, they're dead, honey. They died in a fire with the dogs. Like, you know, even that's a little shock, but it's a little easier because it's a conversation going on.
But wouldn't you think that, I can't even explain this. She did tell you that they died because how they set the fire how they set the fire on the house.
Yeah.
And how she was looking for them, and don't you think they would have called out, I'm over here, I'm stairs still.
Right. Yeah, speaking about the fire, their plan.
Dumb.
I think the movie Jackass is a lot smarter than their plan, and that right there is an insult. Because who sets a building on fire and has everyone on a different floor?
I think they should have just stick together and put the gasoline or whatever they had and put it in the house first, and stood together.
Yeah, the thing that confused me was I understand that she set the room on fire first, and that Johnny was stuck. So, I mean, I don't know how he was stuck because the author didn't mention that, but I wonder. Okay, where's Gat and where's Mirren? She could have ran down the stairs. Was she stuck too? Like, it's just, I don't understand. And it's so sad because they died helplessly with the dogs. I mean, I shed more tears for the dogs than the different people. It's so sad.
I think that's because dogs are helpless and they don't know how to do things.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. But, I mean, the people too, man. Jesus. I mean, I get the idea that they wanted to burn the whole house and all the jewelry and all the wealth that the parents were fighting over for. You know, I get that. I mean, I would have done that too. But, you know, that might get you killed at the end of the day. But, but the fact that I think the parents, they didn't even have. I mean, I guess it made them realize that family was more important because they lost their children, and they must have been like, it must have been just an eye opener. I mean, I don't know. What's next? They're gonna fight over their children's possessions. I mean, what's a part 2 going on here? I don't know, but that part was sad.
The ending blew us away.
Yeah, I must have took you. So just leave a comment down below letting us know
how you felt about the book and rate it.
Yeah, whether you thought it was a ghost, hallucination, anything new that you'd like to, tell us your thoughts, opinions. And we were thinking of doing like a challenge kind of thing. It's a little complicated to explain, but you know how they have like a book explosion? That's what K-Tastic and them do. We were thinking that we noticed that a lot of people judge a book by its cover. Yeah. You don't realize it.
Oh, sorry. But if you watch other people's video, they're like, oh, I just bought this book because of the cover. It was so pretty, and so I got it. And I don't think it's all about the cover.
I have to say, I buy it. If a book cover is beautiful, I'd buy it. And then I don't even read it. It's so sad. Wasting money. But we were thinking that, every month we'll have like some kind of challenge thing going on. And for this challenge that we want to have this month is to buy a book without, paying attention to the cover. Or we could say buy a book with an ugly cover.
And buy a book with a pretty cover and just read them, but don't read the back.
I mean, yeah, you can read the back to see if it's like a part 1 or a part 2, but I mean, don't read the actual information. Don't read the dust jacket.
What the book's about.
Don't read what it's about. Just see if it's a part 1 or part 2, because we would hate for you to buy a part 2 and then be like,
what's going on?
What's going on? That's not the point, because we want to see whether if it's all about the cover or like that. I mean, the cover does matter because that's what sells. I mean, it's like buying a dress. You don't buy an ugly dress. You just don't do it. Right? I mean, you can have a book with the most beautiful cover in the world, and then on the inside it could be the alphabet. I mean, for all you know, things like that happen. So thank you for staying tuned, and we hope to see you next time.
Yes. Please come back and see our video. Subscribe and like it. And we'll see you later.
Toodles.
Bye.
Okay.
Blake.
Hi.